Well, 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 it would help if I had audio. And it also looks like the camera angle might be cutting off the top of my head. It wouldn't be a Friday night live stream. Oh, if I could remember how to thread my machine. I skipped the little spring hopper thing. I am going to be working tonight on the Farmer's Star wall hanging quilt that I started a couple weeks ago and then had to put on hold for my little hiatus. So I'm going to pick up where I left off 2 weeks ago. But in order to do that, I really think I got this threaded wrong. I feel like it's not. There we go. It feels weird. It feels very tight. Is that picture okay? Are we okay? Let me just check. I think so. I just want to zoom out just a hair because I feel like if I sit up high, you're not gonna see my head. So 1 second. Nope, other way, other way, other way. That'll work. That should be perfect. Sorry about that. All right. Oh yeah, see? I just made it worse because my seat went all the way up. Happy Friday night, everybody. Welcome to my channel. My name is Becca, and tonight we're going to be working on making some more Farmer's Star blocks. This is a pattern that I wrote a couple of months ago, and you can buy it for $5. You can do exclamation pattern, I believe, in the chat, the live chat, and you'll get a link to this pattern on my website. If you are a VIP member, this is included in my pattern library, and you can download it for free. It's basically going to feature 9 of these blocks that are separated by sashing and a little bit of a border, and it's going to be a beautiful table topper or wall hanging. I really love spending my time making mini quilts and wall hangings. I feel like they are quick sews that make me feel like I accomplished something relatively quickly. Don't get me wrong, I like making a full-size quilt, but there's just something about making that mini quilt, that wall hanging quilt, that just makes me feel super satisfied. So if you want that pattern, you can do exclamation pattern in the live chat, and it'll get, the chat bot should get you a link. I'm going to scroll and make sure everything's working okay. Get back up here. Good, good, good. There we go. Karen's asking me, Becca, if you had a choice, a Juki 2010 or TL15. I actually don't know the difference. I will tell you, when I got the 2010, I was eyeballing the TL18, and that's the one that I thought I was going to get, and then this one showed up at my door, and I never looked back. So I think they're about the same. Okay. Man alive. I am out of practice because it's been a couple of weeks and I've taken some time off. So I don't even know what I'm doing. All right, so we're going to make 9 of these blocks. In the pattern that I wrote, I basically walk you through building this block row by row. And so if I switch to the overhead view, what you're going to see is here's the block, but then here's all of the pieces that I kind of started working with last time. So where we last left off, I had made all of my half square triangle units, which, let's just be honest, these took most of the live stream last time. And then I started building out the top and the bottom row. So when you're looking at this block, this row and this row are exactly the same. And since I need 9 of these blocks all together, I just made 18 of those rows. 2 of them are in this block, and there should be 16 over here. And then these 2 rows, if you look at them closely, they are actually the same as well. They're just oriented a little bit differently. And so when we get to the point where we're building these 2 rows, which is I think where we're going to be picking up tonight, we're going to need to make 16 more of those because 2 of them are here and I need 18 in all. So 18 minus the 2 that are here equals 16. And then the center row, I only need 9 of. So I'm going to take the center row and put it in. And what I wanted to tell you is I'm doing this a little bit differently. So my pattern, I've got to go back to the overhead view. Sorry about that. My pattern actually called for having the background where you see black here. It actually called for that to be one color. And then the sashing that went around each block was supposed to be the same color as my star legs on this block. But I decided to switch it up because I feel like a pattern, as long as you know what you're doing, you can always substitute out different things and really make any quilt pattern your own. Even the ones that I'm giving to you, whether they're free or paid patterns. Patterns to me are just a suggestion for how to launch and get started and just spark your creativity. Make it your own. And sometimes making it your own is just putting your own fabric in it. And so what I want to show you is, instead of using this fabric for the borders, I have decided to bring in some black for my borders, and that's going to make all of my stars just look like they're floating, and I'm going to love how that's going to look. So I'm going to have black instead of the pink, and if you're following along from the pattern, that might confuse you. That's on purpose. But I did not waste my pink strips, because I have decided when it's all said and done, I will have this as my borders and my sashing, and then out here I'm going to have this pink as my binding. How beautiful is that going to be? You're going to have all these bright colors in the middle floating on the black, and then all the way around you're going to have this really pretty pink right up against that black. So that's what we're going to be working on tonight. While I'm working on this, I do want to let you know there are a number of people in the chat that do have YouTube channels of their own. Man, Sean said it should be like riding a bike. It's not, Sean. And my moderators specifically have channels of their own, but there's a few others that do as well. Sean is one of them. He does a live stream every Saturday morning. So if you want to check out his channel, you can do !Sean, S-E-A-N, in the chat, and you'll get a link to his YouTube channel. Kathy asked, how was the cruise? The cruise was amazing, and I'm very happy I went. Very happy I went. Let me just see really quick. I need to go into YouTube Studio and set something really quick. So we're just going to chat while I'm doing that. 1 minute. Moldy Lasagna said, my mom used to be in the clamshell quilt. That's awesome. I'm looking at the chat to see what I've got. Are there any questions that I need to answer? Love your nails, Tanya Ross says. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that. I am struggling with getting this up and running. I swear. I swear. I swear. I swear. Yes, I did have a good time, Kathy. I had an amazing time, actually. I'm very happy that I went, and I have made the decision that next year when they go, if they go, I will definitely be doing that one again too. It was really fun to just have like a girls' weekend and act like kids. Da, 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 da. 1 minute. There we go. There we go. And I think now all of my administrative stuff is done. Hello, Kathy. All right, so let's just get into it. I am ready to sew. I'm going to let you know. I don't know if this is like riding a bike or riding a horse or whatever the case may be, but I will tell you that I have not put any stitches into any fabric for about 2 weeks now. I think the last time I sewed was actually on a live stream, and I'm not sure I even know how to make the machine go. But we'll figure it out, won't we? Come. I don't want to play nice. Can't thread the needle. Oh my goodness. This was something I was doing as I was starting the live stream. Get in there. There we go. Cooperate, thread. Gee whiz. All right. So I'm just going to make sure. Aw, Pat, I still had videos going up while I was gone. They were all scheduled to go, so you have to go back and check out what you missed. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, and 16. So you guys remember how I said, oof, I'm getting warm. I've been cold all day and now I'm warm. You remember how I said I needed to make sure that I had 16 because I had 2 in here and I needed 18 altogether? I was just counting these to make sure that that's really where I left off. So these are all good to go. I'm just going to set them aside. Now I'm going to make 16 of this row. So I'm going to use this as a guide. And remember I said that this row and this row are exactly the same. They're just oriented differently. So it doesn't really matter how I put it together as long as I make 16 of them all together. I have 2 here, so I'm going to make 14. So I'm going to lay out 14 pieces in each place. So I got to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 18 in all, minus the 2 that I have. How do I set that? I don't even know. There we go. All right, so there's 16 here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. There's 16. So, Kentucky Lady said, I knew you could do it. Brenda Hammock says, hi, Becca, long time no see. I had to have shoulder surgery 3 weeks ago, but now I have to do it again on Monday because of infection. I don't know when I will be able to use my new Bernina. Oh, no. That's horrible. 1, did the puppy survive your cruise? Yes, the puppy survived. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, and 16. Yes, the puppy did survive the cruise, and I don't know how this happened, but the puppy has a million times more energy than I remembered when I left. Like, ugh. Karen wants to know, how are you feeling? I'm feeling tired. But it's all right. Okay, so here's what I want to point out that I need to make sure that I'm doing consistently. So it doesn't matter whether I orient my half-square triangles for my star legs this way or this way, as long as they are going the same way. So I need to be consistent. I either need to do all of them this way or all of them this way, but don't do like this. Don't do that one. Don't do them like that. Does that make sense? Like, I think you see what I'm saying. Like, they should always point up or they should always point down, whichever way works. Now, I will tell you, if you're making this pattern and you're using directional fabric, then these are not exactly the same rows if you want your fabric to go the right way. So just be wary of that. I am not teaching you how to do this with directional fabric. Oh, Marcia, thank you for subscribing. That means a lot to me. Thank you so much. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. 13, 14, 15, 16. That's right. 1, 2. The beginning of the live stream is just me counting. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, and 16. Perfect. So I'm going to do these so that they are all going this way. So all I really need to do is put seams in between all these, and to keep things a little bit easier, I'm going to build out this strip in the middle, and then I'll add the half square triangle units on at the end. But I do think whoever put this in the chat, ow, about sewing on a scrap piece of fabric first was wise. So we're going to do that. Just to make sure the machine still sews, because that would be just my luck. Oh yeah, that does not sound right. And that does not look right. Ooh, not at all. Okay. It's like, oh, that would be why. It was not threaded properly. Wait, what the heck happened? What even just happened? I have thread in the needle, like the thread broke. There was thread still in the needle and thread still threaded in the top part of the machine. That was interesting. All right, let's fix that. We're going to rethread from the beginning. And I'm glad I checked how it was sewing, because I actually did do a little bit of sewing early Saturday morning after my last live stream, because I needed to do some alterations for a Run Fair costume. So I had some different thread in here that I don't want to use in piecing my quilt. So see, I tested, and it was a good thing I did. All right, I'll put a new bobbin in. And, you know, it's also been a couple weeks since I've sewn, so might not be a bad idea to give it a little bit of oil. Okay. Oh, gotta put the bobbin in. Get in there, bobbin. Yep. Click into place. Yeah. And because it's been a couple of weeks, we're just going to top off the oil in the machine. Ooh, she was thirsty. Wow. So I'm just going to do one drop in each of the holes along the top, because it really has been a long time since I've run her. And I need to buy some more tissues. I used the last tissue in my box of tissues, so don't judge me. I have a roll of toilet paper. But it does pick up the excess oil on the bed of my machine just fine, thank you very much. All right, now we got to thread the machine. Hello, Patty. Hello, Nancy. 2 weeks ago, we did a charm pack giveaway, and there were 6 winners. I need to let those winners know that their packages are going out in the mail tomorrow morning. I got sidetracked with birthdays and everything else, and I didn't get a chance to get them out in the mail before I actually left. But they are coming, and I will be emailing people tonight or tomorrow. Not sure when. It's hard to commit to do things right after a live stream. I'm usually pretty dead. But I will be emailing you if you won with a tracking number, so you can keep your eyes on that package as it's making its way over to you. Don't think I forgot about you. All right. Thread that needle again. Nope. First time wasn't it? Second time wasn't it? But third time was the charm, baby. Yeah. Let's get it sewn. The tension is off, like it's ruffling really bad. I must have forgotten how to thread a machine, because I just did it again. Like, good grief. Okay. Am I not going in the tension disc? Down, in here, over the top, in here, through there, through there. How is your mother-in-law doing? She is getting stronger and more coordinated every day, which is good. We had my sister come and stay with her. I have 2 sisters. And one of them got married on Wednesday, and my husband and I'm just looking to make sure everything's working okay. No, something's tight. Something's very tight. And it's the top. Do I not have it? It happened again. Oh, I forgot to put it through the thread mast. I knew it felt too tight. You guys. Oh, this feels right. This feels right now. Good grief. Anyway, I have two sisters, and one of them got married this past Wednesday. So my husband, Zoe, and I went to the wedding. It was just very, 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 very small. My dad, my stepdad, actually married her and her new husband. And then my other sister, who before she had her baby and decided to stay at home to take care of him, used to do home health care. She's quite good at it. She actually loves to do it. She came and sat with my mother-in-law for a couple of days while we went and attended the wedding, which was super kind of her. Thank you, Donna. All right, let's see if that sews better. That should. It's threaded properly now. I'm using the thread mast. Oh, that sounds better. 100%. And it stitches better. I am so happy that I listened to you and did a scrap piece of fabric first. Look at that. Look at it go. That's better. Anyway, she's getting better every day. In fact, I guess while I was gone, she spent the weekend with her daughter at her daughter's house and got along quite well. That's what happens when you stay away from your machine for too long. I know, I feel like I forgot how to sew. I'm just going to make some pairs so I can sew faster. Assembly line sewing. So what I'm doing is taking one from each pile to make my little coordinated pairs so that I don't have to worry about stopping and trying to grab and organize my fabric. I can just pick it up, line up the raw edge, and sew. This will make it go a little bit faster, I feel like. And then some people usually ask me when they see me do this, why are you cutting your thread? Why are you not just chain stitching or web stitching it all together? And the answer is because while I am lining up my next raw edge, I can use my foot to cut my threads, which saves me a fraction of a second after I've chain stitched everything together. And technically, I don't even need to pull that out of the way. The machine's feed dogs will push the last pieces out of the way for me. So if I want to just keep going, I just can. So as I'm lining up the next raw edge, my presser foot is cutting those threads for me. Can you guys hear me okay over top of the machine? I'm using a different microphone tonight. I just want to make sure I'm coming through okay. Mary said, that's good. I thought Bubba was going to need a timeout. No, totally user error. It was not a Bubba thing. Although maybe he was protesting a little bit. You left me behind. Hello, Heather. Happy Friday night. Can hear you fine. You are good. We cannot hear the machine. Awesome. That sounds good. I don't mind if you hear the machine. I just don't want it to be loud and hurt your ears. Aloha, Laurel. I'm so happy Friday's finally here. Busy work week, Mary says. I hear ya. Except not really, because I worked one day this week. Well, technically I worked two. I worked remotely on Tuesday and Friday, but then Wednesday and Thursday I had the day off, and Monday I had the day off, so it's been a relatively slow week this week. All right, now all of these I have pieced. I am going to feel under here. Yep, okay. The pressing instructions want me to press underneath that green one, so I'm just going to finger press everything underneath green so that it's kind of laying in the direction I want it to go. I'll worry about pressing it with heat and starch after the block is all put together, but for right now I'm just doing finger pressing. This is just going to open up my seam and allow me to manipulate my fabric and my seams and all that other stuff without having to apply heat, but it's going to be the pressure that I'm applying on that seam is going to be enough to kind of keep things where I want them to go. Kevin! Oh my goodness! He said, hey, Becca, I am watching you in between flights in Phoenix right now. Have fun. Hey, Kevin! I've been talking to Tucker about next time T does a retreat. I think I want to come. You guys, if you don't know Kevin the Quilter, he is hilarious. He and T Quilts, you guys all know T Quilts, they'll do live streams on Saturdays usually, not usually, but frequently they'll do them together. And when the two of them get in a room together, I just laugh so hard I'm snorting. It's hilarious. Kevin just cracks me up. You guys got to check them out. If one of the mods could put T Quilt's YouTube channel in the chat, that would be great. Where the heck are you going? You're in Phoenix. Where you going? Shirley says, oh, Katie doesn't know who T Quilt is? Oh, goodness. Somebody give her a link. How's that girl not know who T Quilt is? Somebody give her the link. All right, now I'm going to do the other green on the other side of this blue. Hi, Joyce Jordan from Washington, D.C. I am in Prince William County. Hello. I'll do the same thing that I did before. Ugh. Sometimes I feel like when I mash that pedal, I'm like, get it! Oh, I don't know who a lot of the people are in this group. No problems. Somebody, T Quilts has a YouTube channel, and she also does a retreat. I think she lives in the Missouri area. She's great. You guys should check her out. Oh, hey, Donna, thank you for the link. Thank you for putting her link out there. I'll have to add a command for her so that we have it on hand. Uh-oh, Becca is a speed demon tonight. Becca just wants to finish something. So Becca is just zipping along. Or trying to, anyway. I think that's the one thing that I really like about the Friday nights. If I don't get a chance to sew any other time of the week, at least I have 2 hours carved out on Friday night where I can sit and sew. And the best part of that is I get to do it with friends. We get to chat a little bit, hang out, and work on something creative. Some of you might be knitting, some of you might be crocheting, some of you might be cross-stitching. be doing a variety of different things, but as long as you're doing something that feeds your soul and makes you happy, that's all I care about. Sherry, do exclamation pattern. And that'll get you the link to this pattern. It's a pretty simple sew. Hello, Quilt Queen. She says, hello, Becca and everyone. I hope you are having a wonderful evening. Amanda Gruff says, I'm doing the dishes. Well, does doing the dishes bring you joy, Amanda? Because if it does, then I say do all the dishes. And when you're done, you can come here and do mine too. And if it doesn't bring you joy, maybe do them anyway so you have clean dishes to eat off of. Okay, I'll fix that later, Jim. Donna, can you just text me T-quilt, add T-quilts to the commands? I'm not going to be able to do it during the live stream, but I'll definitely create a command for her after the live stream tonight so that it's there in the future. Hello, Linda. She is in Maryland. Hello, hello, hello. Sherry, just do exclamation pattern, not exclamation farmer's star pattern. Just do exclamation pattern. Katie says, where is Ian at tonight? Ian is house sitting. X said, some of us are just sitting here with a beverage watching. Hey, is that a good beverage? Is it mommy juice or daddy juice? Thank you, Donna. I appreciate it. Martha's Creative Life says, I'm doing dishes too. We don't have a dishwasher. The dishwasher are our hands. I hear you. Katie was asking where Ian is. He's house sitting for some friends, so I don't know if he'll be here tonight or not. Thank you, Donna, for that. Aw, Polly says, I'm playing with my 7-month-old puppy. What kind of puppy do you have? Quiltessa says, I'm working on one of my cave quilts. Got to mail it out to Tucker on the 3rd. Awesome. Empty Nest Quilter is saying hi to Nancy Gus. All right, now all of these are finger pressed, and I have just built out this part, right? So what I'm going to do now is lay these in the middle and put the star legs on either side of it. So remember I said it doesn't matter how I do it as long as they're both pointing in the same direction. So if I'm doing it this way, both of them should be pointing up. If I'm doing it this way, they should both be pointing down. Basically, I just want to make sure that they're both of the pinks are pointing towards the green. I saw your email. I haven't had a chance to reply to it. I literally just got back this morning. So I'll have to, it's going to be a little bit. I'm overwhelmed with emails right now. But I did see it. Actually, it was late last night that we got back, but you know what I mean. Okay, so when I press this, I'm going to press away from the half square triangle unit, and that's going to allow these to nest. So I'm just going to set this here, and I'm going to keep going. I'm going to do all of this pile first, finger press over here, and then I'll do this pile and finger press over here. Oh, Susan Europe says, I may have to pour a glass of wine now that dinner is eaten. That's awesome. I will catch up with you, Katie, hopefully this weekend. It's just going to take me a couple of days. My daughter's birthday was Wednesday, which was also the day that my sister got married. So they're going to always share that day now. But I have got a very busy weekend ahead of me because tomorrow we are celebrating the birthday immediately after or maybe even during the Zoom that I have scheduled from 12 to 4 tomorrow. So it's a long weekend. Did the guys sing on your cruise? Yes, they did. I don't know how you keep up with work, family, YouTube, video replies, blah, blah, blah. I don't know how I do it either. No, actually, I do know how I do it. I try to be selective with the amount of content that I put out. Can't do every video. I can't do every so long. But the ones that I do, those I dedicate time to, and I carve it out in our schedule. I have a husband that is supportive and helps me in this. So if it wasn't for him, I don't think I'd be able to do this. Did you get the memorial shirt done and the family? Into the family. It was beautiful. Oh, that's for Donna. I was like, what memorial shirt are you talking about? Never mind. That was for Donna. Sue's asking Donna if she got the memorial shirt done for a family and got it in the mail. Terry said, step by step, spill the beans. Tell us about it, Becca. Oh, let's save that for a little bit later. Save that for a little bit later. If I start talking about that now, I will make no progress on these blocks. And I really want this to be done. But I will talk about it tonight, so just stay tuned. Oh, wait, somebody said something. What was that? Kevin says, you know, I'm a flight attendant for the big boy job, right? But no, I didn't. Oh, my goodness. No, what airlines are you a flight attendant for, Kevin? One of my best friends, who really we consider each other a family more than friends, but because I grew up with him, he's just a couple months younger than I am. He's a flight attendant for United. So I will spill a little bit of beans this way because Donna's kind of kept it hush hush. But after my live stream is over tonight, I will be going over to Donna's and we're going to sit on a Zoom and we're going to talk only about the cruise and all of the things that have transpired. And I'll give you all of the gory stories, good, bad, and otherwise. So if you want to know all of the details, other than it was fun and I had a blast, you'll have to go to Donna's live stream when I'm done here. If I start going through all of that tonight, I will never get any sewing done. Plus, I haven't really had a chance to catch up with Donna, so that's going to be amazing. Get a chance to talk to my friend and just hang out. Becca the havoc we could cause in a flight with Kevin. Oh, don't even tempt me. Don't even tempt me. Like, I think if I got on a flight with Kevin, I would probably be like, oh, I will say, okay, I had a flight. Okay, I will tell you this. My flight coming home was amazing, and the flight attendants were so super nice and kind, and it did my heart a world of good to, at the very end, you know how when they tell you welcome to wherever you're going and blah, 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 blah. They said, from this DC-based crew, we wish you blah, 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 blah. And I was like, oh, they were kind and they're from here. It made my heart so happy. Still waiting to find out what airlines Kevin flies for, because we're going to all start stalking that airline. The next So Yeah retreat will be at the end of February. Why are they doing it at the end of February, Lori? That's when QuiltCon is. Do you have dates, or did they just say the end of February? I mean, I've already bought all my QuiltCon stuff. Guess I'll have to miss that one too. I will eventually go to one. You'd think they don't want me to be there. I know that's not it. They have to do what's right for their business and their schedule. So there we go. These are coming together really quickly. If you are my flight, I will tell you in private who I fly for. None of the passengers would get any service from me chattering with you. Okay, Kevin, that's fair. I understand. I gotcha. You don't have, I get you. I just want to know, I will tell you, I fly a lot with American Airlines. And then you can hit me up offline if that's who you fly for. And you don't have to say anything publicly. We'll leave it alone. All of my work flights are with American, so I just tend to go with American Airlines for my personal flights too. QuiltCon, I know. Oh, it starts the Monday after QuiltCon, Katie says. Oh, really? Ooh, now I want to go. Now I really want to go. And they're going to have machines that you can use, so I don't have to pack my machine. So I could fly to Atlanta, and then I could fly up to Vegas, and then I could fly home. That would be another 2 weeks I'd be gone. Where am I going to come up with all this vacation time, you guys? QuiltCon and then hop a plane to Vegas. I'm seriously tempted. I'm seriously tempted. When are they going to sell the tickets for that retreat? Yeah, and is it sold out already? I told Brody he needed to save me a ticket. I don't know if he actually did. Shelley Clark says the first week of March is also the Poly Up Sewing Expo. It's a big show in Washington State. Katie says, I can't get over how expensive a quilt retreat is. Gotta be rich to go. Not necessarily. I mean, you gotta also think about what you're getting for it, right? So, like the So Yeah quilting retreat, if I remember the numbers correctly, and I am sure if I've got it wrong, somebody will correct me in the chat. If you went by yourself and wanted your own hotel room, they provided meals and 5 nights at a hotel and sewing machine rental and workshops for 4 or 5 days, plus transportation, I think, to and from the hotel for $1,200. The hotel alone is a good portion of that. Tickets, just saying, ×2, Becca. Hey, Donna, I hear you. And then you get Mary in there and it'll be, no, wait, ×3. We'll have to see what happens. I think I missed it. Did anybody say whether or not, oh, working out the details, Lori said. Awesome, great. $2,000 is super expensive. It wasn't $2,000 though. It was $1,200 for a single room, $900 if you were going to share a room with somebody else. If it was $2,000, I wouldn't even be thinking about it. They haven't gone on sale yet, Katie says. Just make sure I'm still sewing these the right way. Katie says they haven't gone on sale yet. I don't think they have announced that. So yeah, it was $1,200 for a single room, worth every single penny. Awesome. Good to know, Katie. Add airfare. Yeah. Hey, thank you. Adding the airfare does make it a little bit more expensive. I won't lie. Hey, would you please cut the thread? Thank you. What? I go and sleep in my car. What if I go and sleep in my car? Yeah, it can be a lot. Well, and you're also, Katie, you're also out of the country, so your airfare is more expensive than everybody else's. But if you're local and you can drive to Vegas, that's a really good deal. Or if you're near a hub that can get you to Vegas quickly, that's not bad either. Somebody had asked where QuiltCon is this year. It is in Atlanta, and I've already bought my admission. I will be there right now. I am planning to be there all 4 days. Yep. They also have paid for your transportation to and from the airport. That saves you a little bit of money too. That's awesome. 600 if you make your own room arrangement. So when I come, Lori, I can stay with you, and then it'll be 600. I do have a timeshare. Let's road trip cross country. If I could get the time off work. Is QuiltCon similar to quilt shows? Yes, Katie, but it's on steroids. Donna wants to just road trip across the country. Tiffany says, I am not here because I am in the hot tub, but stop by to say hi. Hello, Tiffany. Desi says, I did the retreat. It was worth every penny. The guys were amazing. The store was amazing. Awesome. Hey, Alexandria, thank you so much for subscribing. Okay, now that I have 16 more of this row, again, that's 2 for each of the additional 8 blocks we're going to make, it is time to make this middle row. And that one's going to be really easy because they're just squares. There's no half square triangle units to build out. I just need to make sure that I have 8 of this, 16 of these, 16 of these. So I'm going to count out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, right in the middle. And then I want 8 on either side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 on this side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then these are extra, so I'm going to set those aside. And now I just need 8 on either side of these. I hear you, Lori. Very tempting. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And I'm just going to sew these 8 rows together. So here's my easy way to do it. I'm going to show you a different way. So I'm just going to stack all of these up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. My fabric is not directional, so it doesn't really matter. There. And then what I'll do is, starting from the left position, I'll pick up this stack, then this stack, then this stack. So I'm going to go through and sew all of these together and finger press them over underneath the black fabric, and then I'll add all of the pink, and then I'll add all of the blue, and then all of the black. Does that make sense? Hi, Teresa. How you doing? Hi, Kathleen. I have been thinking about doing a project with like some really pretty, vibrant, bright colored batiks against a black background for a long time. And I've been looking for like a good black batik that I could use as backgrounds. But the problem with that is a lot of times the batiks have other colors or tones mixed in there. And you're not, unless you're going to buy for a specific project, it can become a little difficult because you might get something that has a color in it that doesn't work with the rest of the fabric that you're introducing. So in this case, what I actually did is I used just regular black cotton fabric and put my batiks in there. When I first started sewing with batiks, I always put, like, I would mix batiks and prints all the time. It didn't matter. And then I heard somebody say that you shouldn't do that. And I got my hands on a bolt of just undyed batik fabric. So the texture with my white background and my batiks was exactly the same. And I really liked how that felt. But that undyed batik fabric was from Moda and they don't make it anymore. So I can't do that. I don't mind if they don't bring like colors, but it would be really nice if they had like an undyed batik white and a just black batik. Do we have a Zoom Sunday? No, it is Saturday. Saturday 12 to 4. Last Saturday of the month. Pat said, I got some beautiful black batik. I know, anytime I'm in a store, if I see a really nice black batik that's literally just neutral colors and it doesn't have anything else mixed in, I'm a sucker for it and I'll pick it up. Because I feel like black fabric will absolutely make this pop. By the way, I am pressing away from the blue squares when I finger press. So I'm just sewing, finger pressing, and setting it aside. And if you guys are asking or wondering what we're talking about with the Zoom, if you are part of the VIP membership on my website, there is a Zoom once a month where we just get together and chat and sew and have a lot of fun. And if you are interested in doing that, you can do exclamation VIP in the live chat. You'll get a link for how you can sign up for it. And as long as you do that before 12 o'clock noon Eastern time tomorrow, you'll be able to join us on the Zoom. Katie says, I have some really nice black batik too, but I haven't used it yet. Hi, Becca. Kathleen Heston says, this is my first time I have caught one of your live streams. I love watching you sew. You were so perfect. Oh my goodness. You said so perfect. Please. I about chuckled there. I'm not perfect, but I do appreciate the compliment. Becca, look at Island Batiks. I think they have a plain black and white. I will definitely do that. Thank you, Jackie. I love Island Batiks. I just want to buy a couple bolts of each one. Oh, Lori says you can order undyed batik at Hancock's of Paducah. If it's the undyed batik that Moda sold, Moda has discontinued that, so you can't order it anymore. But if it's something else, I'll definitely check it out. I'll check them both out. All right, this is my last pink one, so now I am still synchronized. I had 8 for 8. Now I'm going to pick these up and sew my blue on. I would love all batiks. I would love to have bolts and bolts and bolts of it. Katie says, hello, Brenda Foley. Welcome to Friday night. What you doing tonight? Becca, have you recovered from your NKOTB adventure yet? Nope. But I am recovering, and I will share all of the gory details about that tonight as soon as I'm done working on this. We're going to go over to Donna's channel, and we're just going to have a little Zoom chat. Tanya says, I am a sucker for batiks. Holly Warren says, I'm coming your way tomorrow. Hubby is running the Marine Corps Marathon on Sunday. Awesome. Holly, where exactly will you be staying? You want to come to my daughter's birthday party? We're going to have pizza and cake. Hi, Marsha. Teresa says, I'm crocheting granny squares. It's my first time making them and it's fun. I really need to try that. Pat says, I do. Come on, Pat. Kathleen says, I pray the joyful effects of the trip will last. You gotta tune into Donna's channel tonight because I'm going to go over everything in excruciating detail. I'm going to answer every question everybody has. It's going to be a lot of laughs, but most importantly, I will tell you one thing. I'll tell you right now, I had a blast and I'm going again. I'm going again. Going again. Oh, Marcia says, ooh, I like your hair up. It's getting long enough that I can do the ponytail. I like wearing it just about shoulder length because then I can do a ponytail, but it also doesn't take forever to dry. I don't like wearing it much past my shoulder. Wait. These all need to be pressed underneath the pink, and I'm sitting here finger pressing them under the blue. Katie says, do you know I've never been to a concert? Oh, no, I do now. Somebody said something. Sandra says, I love your quilt block. Sorry that I can't finish watching. I don't feel good and I have to lay down. Oh, Sandra, I hope you feel better soon. How did your husband fare at home? Jason is a trooper and always does amazing whether I'm here or not. Honestly, if he wasn't here, I think the house would fall apart. I have an amazing husband. I am blessed. All right, there. Now those are fixed. Shoo. All right, now we just got to do the black on the left side, and then we'll have all of our rows put together, and then we can make 8 more of our blocks, and then put our sashing in and our borders, and oh my goodness, we're done. Super easy sew. If you can sew a straight line, you can do this quilt. And for those of you that have been tracking the adventure of my long arm, it is still not fixed. It is with somebody that I trust, though, and I know when I get it back, it's going to be in amazing condition. But I will tell you, I did get a status update from the shop. The handlebars are bad and need to be replaced. So they put in a call to Handy Quilter and were able to get the handlebars replaced under warranty. So now I'm just waiting for the handlebars to come into the shop. They're going to change them out, and then they're going to test the machine pretty heavily to make sure everything works the way they expect it to. And hopefully in the next week or two, we should have the long arm back. And I feel bad because the shop owner keeps calling me to let me know what's going on with the quilt or what's going on with the long arm. And she's like, I'm so sorry this is taking so long. It's really been a problem. You know, there's been a lot of issues. We've been trying to figure it and troubleshoot and da-da-da. I'm like, literally, take your time. I'm gone for like 2 weeks. And I mean, yes, I have quilts to quilt, but they're all my quilts. It's not like I'm doing this for a living. So, hey, like, do what you got to do. I care more about it being done, being fixed, and being in great working order when I pick it up. Like, I'm beyond frustrated with the back and forth. I'd rather you take your time, do it right, even if it takes a month or 6 weeks or whatever. Keep it as long as you need to keep it. Just make sure it's working when I pick it up. Did Tucker break it? No, Tucker didn't, but that's hilarious. Tucker just happened to be... Tucker didn't do a ton of work with the machine. He actually didn't work on it very much. And when he did come and he readjusted things, what he actually fixed were my bars, not the machine. The bars weren't set the right way, and he fixed that. Not the handlebars, but like the bars that hold your quilt top and stuff. Mona says, I love the block with the black. The colors really pop. I agree. All right, this is the last one for this row. And now I've got all of my rows put together. And so to keep everything organized nice, I'm going to stack them the right way. I'm going to lay them on top of the row that they go on the block. And we need piles of 8. So now I need this pile. So you see on this one, the triangles, the points are pointing down and away. So I need 8 where they're pointing like that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then this one, I need them going the opposite way. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now, I'm just going to pull my bottom one out because I can't see. There we go, like that. Now I need the top row. These are extra. It's too young to be messing with parts. You're funny. Now I need the bottom one to point up. So we're going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And these are 8 because I counted them before and they go this way. So now all I got to do is take all of my rows to put everything together. And to make these a little bit easier and organized a little bit more, I'm just going to set this over here and I'm going to turn all of this 90 degrees. That way I don't have to worry about setting it up differently. And just like I did before, I'm going to make 1, 2, and I'm doing this very carefully so that this side is the side that I'm going to sew, and I'm going to put it right over next to the machine so I don't have to turn it or rotate it any way. The side that is on the right is what's going to go under my needle. So this gives me a chance to organize my fabrics in the right order, but still keep them stacked up and ready to go to the machine so that I can be efficient. Now there are seams in here that we're going to want to nest. You could absolutely pin this each step of the way. That's going to take you more time if you do. I'm not going to pin, but what I am going to do is stop and feel with my fingers as I go. So I'm just going to leave these 3 over here. This is the pile that I am sewing. So what I'm doing is feeling for the first seam. I'm nesting those seams together. I'm going to hold it with my finger, put this underneath the needle, sew until my needle gets into that seam. Then I'll pick up the next seam, hold it, nest the next seam, and then nest the last seam. And then I think all of these, let me look at the back, the pressing. Okay, all of these are pressing down, so I'm just going to open it up and press it down. Now I could keep doing all of these and then add those on, or I think I will actually. I think I'll just pick up and build on, because then I feel like I'll be completing blocks a little bit faster. It's the same thing that I did before. I shouldn't have done this way. I should have just kept going. Same thing as I did before. Nest a seam, sew to it, nest the next one, sew to it, so on and so forth, etc. Okay. Because I started building this one out, I'm going to finish building this one, and then I'm going to do assembly line sewing for the other seven, the other seven. Assembly line sewing just means I'm going to do all of these, then add this to all of them, then add this, then add this. But because I already started sewing this whole block together, I want to keep that rhythm and get this block done so I don't confuse myself. Nest a seam, sew to it, nest the next one, and all the way. Somebody called that peek and pray. I love that. That's awesome. I am a peek and pray quilter most of the time. If I'm working on something that's really special and I don't want to lose any points, then I'll stop and pin. But most of the time, I'm just sewing because I like to sew. I just want to create. And most of my quilts, I really aim to be more utilitarian rather than show-worthy. I'd rather they get used rather than hung up and put on display if I'm making a big quilt. In this one, I feel like I could make the center of another quilt. Anyway, I just want to sew. I just want to create. So there's another block. And now let's do our assembly line for the other seven. Got 4 grannies. My fingers are cramping. Oh no! Okay, so there's 2. There are 1 set of 2. I'm not sure how it happens, but even when I pin, seams still gets off. Sometimes for me too, Brenda, and that's why I don't spend too much time pinning, because even when I pin, I'm still off a little bit. I can never get it absolutely perfect. So I figure it's not worth the poking and the prodding, the frustration of dealing with pins if I can get it close enough without the pinning. I won't say it's perfect, but again, I'm not going for perfect. I'm just going for enjoying my time. I just want to sew, I just want to make, I just want to be creative. Pat says, what SEWBECCA said. If someone is going to look that closely, it seems they don't deserve the beautiful quilt to snuggle with. I agree. Rebecca P says, hello, all. That block is looking beautiful, Becca. Thank you. Pat Boo says, I won't ever show my quilts. I just love giving them away. I give most of mine away, too. I really love that feeling when I make something and somebody loves it so much that they want to have it. But I don't want to haggle over price, and I don't want to do any of that. I want to give it to them as long as they're really going to love it. As long as they're going to enjoy it, I'm happy to pass it along. My philosophy is I can't keep everything I make. It just can't. I would run out of room. So they got to have homes to go to. So when I gift a quilt to somebody, not only is it an act of love for them, and not only does that make them feel loved, but goodness, it's a gift for me too, because it's taking that quilt off of my shelf. It's allowed me to get rid of the fabric in my stash. And so then it allows me to shop for the next project. It allows me to pick out some new fabric, a new pattern, a new project idea, and get busy working on that. And when that one's done, that can sit on my shelf until somebody wants it, and then rinse, slather, and repeat. Tiffany's been telling me for a long time that I need to give some of my quilts away as raffle prizes on my channel. And I think she's right, but I don't have any that are finished and can actually be sent out yet. So I'm hoping when I hit the 20,000 subscriber mark to have a very special quilt that I'm working on that I haven't even showed anybody yet. A very special quilt that I am working on kind of off camera that I could give away. Well, maybe I've shown you. I don't know. It's hard to remember what I have and haven't done. And who knows, when I get to 20,000 subscribers, it's so far away. Who even knows what will be done and still in my possession? It might not be the quilt I'm thinking of. It might be a different quilt. All right. Now we're going to go over here and add this row. So I'm going to set these two kind of next to each other. I'm going to pick these up. Set those over there. And I'm going to sew them to this side. So same way as I did before. It's funny to watch these blocks grow a little bit at a time. Kathleen Heston says, all my quilts go to grandchildren and great-grands. It keeps me busy with 13 grands and 5 greats. Oh my goodness. If anybody's just tuning in, welcome to the live stream. Happy Friday night. Sue Allen says, all of my quilts are going to nursing homes, children going through chemo, and at the end of the year, they will be going to our vets. Susan Yearout says, Becca, I have never made a quilt for myself until 6 years ago, and I have been quilting since 1988. My goodness, Susan, that's a lot of quilts that you've given away. I have one quilt that I keep for myself. I do have several quilts in my home that I have made. but none of them are mine. The one I sleep with every night is my quilt. And I'm not going to lie, when I travel, that quilt travels with me. I take my pillow and my quilt everywhere I go. This feels like it's such a slow process right now, but the blocks are coming together. Like this, it's not that slow. The reason why it feels slow is because I'm stopping every time I get to one of these seams and I'm nesting them up as best I can. I'm doing it by feel. What do we call this? Peek and pray? I started my big girl quilt, Lori Clark says. Harder skill level for me. It's a Missouri Star pattern. Awesome. When I make the quilts, the family always says dibs. I bet they do, Teresa, because I have seen your quilts and they are gorgeous pieces of work. Lori says, all of my quilts have been given away except one that kept me when I was getting IV medication at the infusion center. It was freaking cold there. I bet the infusion center probably, like, I bet the actual infusion process probably made you colder too, right? I work with my guild to donate to Kaiser's Hospital, Children's Hospital, Brenda says. Megan M says, the reason I am learning to quilt is because someone gave my mom one when she was getting chemo and it meant a lot to her. Awesome. Sheila Grimes says, hello to everybody. Hello, Sheila. Heather says, no one dibs my quilts. Then again, no one sees them either. No two quilters are made alike, right? Like some of us want to keep all of our projects, others want to give them away, others want to sell them, others are selective with who we're giving them to. It's just, aw, Beth says your hair is so cute. My hair has not been done today, but it is out of the way. All right, so now we've got these 3 columns together, and we just got to add these other 2 columns. So I'm going to pick up this row. I'm going to bring it over here, and then I'm going to bring up these pieces of my block. I'm going to set this out of the way, and I'm going to add my next column onto this stack one at a time. Shoop, shoop, shoop. Susan says, I still get colder even 12 years after chemo and radiation. Oh my. Rebecca P says, I finished my first ever quilt top today. I learned from a local quilt guild who meets every Friday at our public library, and they have very patiently and kindly taught me how to quilt. Quilters are awesome. Rebecca, I hope you have been bitten by the bug. I'd love to see what your quilt looks like. If you do exclamation Facebook in the chat, it'll give you a link to my Facebook group, and you can go post a picture of what your quilt top looks like. We would love to see it. There we go. I've got that one folded. Ah, Kentucky Lady just joined the VIP program. Awesome. I hope to see you on the Zoom tomorrow. don't forget to join the Zoom. You have to log into your account on my website at SEWBECCA.com. And if you are a member of the VIP section, you just go to the VIP section and the event will be right there, and you can just click on that Zoom link. You don't have to register anything. You just click on the link to go right into the Zoom at 12 o'clock tomorrow. 12 o'clock Eastern time, by the way. Rebecca says, thanks. I posted it on Facebook. I'm definitely hooked. I'm glad to hear it. Do you have your next project picked out? Shelley Clark says, I had a hard time giving them away. I gave one as a gift and they gave it back to me because they didn't use it. If someone expresses an interest, I'm glad to give them a quilt. I think my hardest thing is when I make somebody a quilt, I want them to use it. And I understand the desire of, I don't want anything to happen to it, so I'm going to put it up because it's too pretty or it means too much or whatever the case may be. I totally get that, but I am always willing to make another one. Oh no. Shelley Clark says, I have gotten back 3 quilts I gave as gifts. Oh, that's so sad. I wonder if people just don't appreciate the quilts as much anymore. I don't know. I know for me, and maybe this is it. I don't know if you guys run into this, but I find that people frequently react to the fabric and the colors in a quilt or a bag or placemats or whatever it is you're making, pot holders. They react to the fabric more than they do necessarily the pattern. The pattern's great, but they almost look at that secondary. It's the fabric selections that I seem to get the most reaction from people. And I wonder if that has something to do with it. I wonder if even though you put a ton of talent and time and energy and money into making those quilts, blood, sweat, and tears, and you thought about that person every step of the way, I wonder if it's just literally it's a fabric preference thing for them. I don't know. I will tell you, that's part of the reason why I like I don't tell somebody I am making this quilt for you. Well, that's not true. I have done that a couple of times. But what I do is I just make the quilt that I want to make with the fabric that I want to use. And somebody eventually says, oh, I love that. And then I know, okay, this quilt is for that person. They seem to indicate an interest. Everybody's tastes are so different too. I don't know. What I do with my sister-in-law, because she does not have the same fabric taste that I do. She's a huge Tula Pink lover. And she doesn't even know who Tula Pink is, but every time we walk into a quilt shop, that's the first bolt of fabric she'll pick up is some Tula Pink fabric. What I do with my sister-in-law is when we go somewhere and she wants me to, we'll go to quilt shops together, but she'll frequently ask me to make something for her, and I just tell her, pick one fabric. Pick one piece of fabric, one bolt of fabric in this whole store that you like. Pick that, and then I will pick coordinates that go with it, because that kind of hurts her brain a little bit. And then from there, I'll make something for her. And it's usually not my cup of tea, but it is hers. All right, so now we've got all except this last row on here. Sue, thank you for joining the Spools group. That's a monthly tipping program that you can join on YouTube. Appreciate that. Okay, so now we're going to build this all out. We're putting the last row on. And I may even be able to get the sashing, get like these blocks laid out, because once I do this, I just got to put the sashing in between, and then it'll all go together. I've got 3 blocks. After I sewed this seam, I've got 3 blocks done. So I'm going to build out my first row, just so I feel like I'm a little bit further ahead. Stop and actually turn my iron on so I can press these first. Becca, that is a beautiful quilt that you're working on. I love that. Thank you, Kathleen. I think you were just trying to call dibs there, weren't you? I see you've been listening. Tiffany said she was in a hot tub earlier. Well, I want to get in a hot tub. I want to go swimming. Lily says, I would be devastated if someone gave back a gift, especially one that I took time to make. I still have wedding gifts from 30 years ago, and I have been divorced for 20 of those years. Oh my goodness. I handmade a gift one time. I won't say what it is. I won't say who it's for. But I handmade it for somebody to give to somebody else. And the recipient for that gift knew that I had handmade it for that person to give to them. And that person, the recipient that received the gift, was very disappointed with the gift because it wasn't something else. And I don't know. It's a long story. I just sewed this on wrong. This one's on right. Do you see what I did wrong? These should be pointed the other way. So I will fix that. Anyway, the recipient wanted something else. She wanted I don't know. I don't know. I won't speak about what the recipient felt because it's not, I would just be speculating. But she did give it back and refused to accept it. And I was like, oh my word, I put so much money and time and energy into that thing. But I had to look at it like, well, you know, it wasn't on me. It was on the gifter, the person giving the gift, to make sure that they were giving the right gift. It wasn't a reflection on me. But it was hard to not take it personally because I put so much time and energy into that gift. It felt like a slap in my face. I haven't made anything for that person ever since. Like, no, I don't want to, I'm not going to do that. But then you have other people in your circle that encourage you and build you up and just keep spurring you on. Like my sister-in-law is always asking me to make things. And my husband's ex-wife is actually one of the ones that spurred me into quilting. She convinced me to give it a shot, and I told her she was out of her mind. She's like, oh, you made a bag. Have you ever thought about making a quilt? I was like, no, you're out of your mind. So they both have quilts from me. In fact, I think they both have a couple. My mother-in-law has a couple. My mom has a couple. My sister just has one, I think. Both my sisters have one for me. Maybe 2. I don't think my brother has any. I need to give him one. All right, let's fix this so it's going the right way. How about that? Our quilts are made with love. That has to hurt. Yes, agreed. Especially when you think about all the time that goes into making something. I mean, this is just a silly wall hanging. Silly. I use that word very loosely. But this is just a wall hanging, and it's going to take me about 4 hours just to make the top. And that's not going to include the time to quilt it and bind it and trim it and all that other stuff. This is just 4 hours to put the top together. And that's just sewing. Doesn't include the time to cut the fabric and prep the fabric. Look, that's how it should go. Like that. Angela Walters. Brenda's talking about Angela Walters. I just gave the Goodwill a bunch of my quilts. Awesome. See, I don't think that that's a bad idea either. Okay, so my one of my coworkers was doing construction on his home. It's doing an addition, whatever. And this was several months ago that this happened. I jumped on a conference call with him while he was working from home one day, and he turns on his camera. Normally we don't always turn on our cameras, but he turned on his camera, and I'm not joking, hanging up behind him to divide his work area from the area where they were doing demo was a Dresden plate quilt. And I looked at him and I went, "Oh my word, where did you get that?" And he said, "It's not mine, but I knew you'd love it. I knew you'd want to see it." And I was like, "Well, where'd it come from?" He was like, "Well, the construction guys brought it to hang up and divide the room." I'm like, "They're treating it like a moving blanket." No. But it was getting use, so I mean that's a fine line. Like how do you be like, "Yes, I want my quilts to be used, but not in that way?" Yeah, whatever. Okay. I made some mug rugs for people, Cindy West says, at work, and they were surprised that I thought of them. I was glad they liked them. I like making quilted mug rugs and telling people that they can use them as little mug rugs or placemats for their coffee cup, but they also make really good mouse pads if you quilt them to death. If you make them low loft, they're great mouse pads. If you make them big enough, ooh, that's a good idea. You can make a nice wide one. Maybe we'll do that on a live stream one night. Make a nice wide one that could go under your keyboard and have enough hang off for your mouse pad on one side and your cup of coffee on the other. Ooh, that'd be fun. Call it a desk pad. Oh, look, this is the last one. Now all 9 of my blocks are made. What? Ding, ding, ding. I was just sewing and I didn't even realize that I was getting close. Come on. Stubborn son of a gun. Perfect. Yep, and I even put it on the right way. All right. So now what I'm going to do is grab my portable wool pressing pad, and my iron is still on, which is good. I'm going to grab some Best Press. I think I need to top her off because it's pretty empty. Oh my goodness, time to stretch. Oops, too much. There we go. Thank you, Cindy. She said my blocks are pretty. So what I'm going to do now, I have pressed all of this fabric with starch before I cut it. So I am not worried about introducing starch at this point. It's already shrunk or sized as much as the Best Press is going to have it size. So I'm going to pull out each block. I'm going to give it a good healthy dose of some Best Press, and I'm going to press it as flat as I can get it to go. What scent is your Best Press? I usually keep 2 or 3 scents on hand. I have lavender, which is unopened, and this one is blue. What color is the blue? What scent is the blue? This is Linen Fresh. Ooh, that's coming out nice and hot. Nice. This is just going to get the block to lay really flat, and then I find using Best Press helps reduce any instances where the fabric may want to fray over time. The instructions in my pattern did say to press all the seams down, and just to kind of reduce bulk, I'm going to press it from the back first. Or I'm sorry, pressing from the back won't reduce bulk, but pressing from the back will help make sure all my seams are going in the right direction. It's been a couple of weeks since I've done anything, so, you know, I can't think. There we go. Buy them. What are we talking about? Okay. Now all of that should be going this way, so let's try it one more time. There we go. Nice and flat. Look at that block. Isn't that pretty? Set it off over here. Or over here, so you can see it. All right. I'm going to press all these from the back first, just to kind of get all the seams to go in the direction I want them to go and lay flat-ish. And then I will flip it around. Douse it with some Best Press and give it some heat. Is Best Press a starch? It is a starch alternative. It adds body for sure, like starch would, but it's not as heavy as starch from what I understand. There we go. Oh, there are lots of projects posted in my group tonight? Okay. So what we'll do is instead of continuing to work on my project, we'll stop after I've pressed this one, because I can put the sashing on my own. And then I'll show you guys the finished project next week, because I'm not going to let this not finish. It's so close. And I want to be done by 10 o'clock so I can go hang out with Donna over on her live stream. So I'm just going to give this one a starch, and then we'll share my screen and we'll see what's been posted in the Facebook group. And that means I get to see Rebecca P's beautiful first quilt. That'll be a lot of fun. I like seeing what you guys work on too. It's always nice to show you what I'm working on, but this is my chance to see what you've been working on. Even if it's not quilting. Even if it's working on that mommy drink. Okay, so these blocks are nice and flat. There's 3 of them, and then there's 6 that I still have to press, and I'll do that at a later time. So I'm going to set that aside. Get my keyboard and mouse. Oh, Mom just joined in the chat 15 minutes before we're about to end. She's like, hey. Hey. All right, let me do this. Gotta find it. Okay, 1 second. All right. What kind of starch do you use? I use Best Press. Okay. I don't know why. I don't know why I can't get Safari to show. It's not playing nicely. Oh, there it goes. Sorry. It's been a day. All right. And I'm doing this totally live. So, sorry. Let's get this fixed. There we go. We'll put this back over here. We're going to go to SEWBECCA and Friends. And we will fix it. I know it's covering up the chat right now. I'll fix that as soon as I can. Just give me a moment. Shoot. Okay. I think that's good. This will work for now. Denise Hale says, a result from quilting and no one wants them. Oh, donate them. Get them to you. Get them out there to be used. I didn't want a vacation. You're right. Tara says, another dress for the Dress a Girl project. Lisa, thank you so much for subscribing tonight. Amy Champion Walsh says she's playing with her new 770 QE, learning to do embroidery. And okay, I'm going to go up here and I'm changing this flag to show new post. That's why I just see everything in the order that you guys posted it. Debbie Horton, my granddaughter asked for a quilt for one of her friends, so I made this panel and I've probably had it for 30 years. Wow. Let me see if I can get... I want to make it so you guys can see things a little bit better. Okay. I also took care of those pesty cookies during your live. Okay, we saw this one from Denise. We saw this one from Tara. We saw this from Amy. Katie says, I had fun making this. It's too bad that the camera didn't register the color difference on the pinwheel. This is a Socialites 2 quilt along for the 6-inch block, #1 perennial block. Oh, I haven't had time to do those. But I did see it, and it looks like fun. Heather wants to know, can you find the pineapple in the pumpkin patch? The pineapple wall quilt is my most recent quilt finish. The other is my practice foundation single crochet that I am trying to master so I can crochet a cowl I found a pattern for online that starts with that stitch. Very pretty. Love the pineapple lock quilt. Amanda Groff says, here is the finished top of what I shared a few weeks ago. Now to quilt and bind it in time for Christmas. I love it. And I feel like with the red, the white, and the black, it doesn't have to be just Christmas. It could be something else too. Tanya Shea says, this is the quilt I'm going to give to my new granddaughter. She loves Scooby. My son met a wonderful girl and she has a 5-year-old. Her name is Eva. I just have to finish putting it together. Oh, here's the new quilt from Rebecca. This is my first ever quilt top. I finished it today at my library's quilt group. Look at that. Nice. I love it. Did they teach you how to do the pattern? Like, or did you come up with that on your own? That's great. Here's the granny squares that Miss Teresa Louise is crocheting. That looks beautiful. Really want to try doing a granny square. Maybe I'll pull out some yarn and do that. Polly says, this is Tater Tot. He thinks he's going to help me sew, silly puppy. One of my current projects. It's huge. I had fun making it. I changed the width of the colored border and I really like it so much better. Aw, so cute. Hello, Shelby. Debbie Dunn says, this time of day is terrible for taking pictures of quilts. Maybe I'll try again in the morning. Either way, this is what I have been working on. I also have the Socialite 2 blocks cut out and ready to sew. The quilt on the left, that is the jelly roll. That's the quilt I think that Ian did on his live stream with the jelly roll. And the one on the right is the bra quilt that I'm doing with a bunch of other content creators for the breast cancer awareness thing for Fat Quarter Shop. Polly says, no waste herringbone. Got the idea from Tiny Orchard Quilt's YouTube video. 90% partial seams, haven't pressed yet. Not sure if borders are needed. Thinking I'll use a fleece blanket for the backing. All right, I'm going to refresh my screen because that was from 2 days ago and see if anything's come in new since I've started talking and sharing. Pam is peeling off paper for her foundation paper project. Katie says, finishing the binding on a project bag I started at the So Yeah retreat. Finally. Yes, I love hand binding. Cheryl Fisher says, I purchased material at the Fredericksburg Expo and I'm loving the purple. I love the purple too. I kind of like how you have it displayed there too. And then we saw this one already, so we'll refresh one more time. And I think that's it. So, friends, you know what that means? Means that's all we got here. So, here's what we're going to do. I'm going to end the live stream because you can't see me, but I am here. I'm going to end the live stream because I'm going to go hang out with my friend Donna over at Handmade by Ying. If you don't have her channel, you can do !Ying in the chat box below, or in the live chat if you're watching on the live stream, and the chat bot will give you a link over to her channel, and then you can just pop on over, say hi, and hang out with us there. I'm going to spill the tea, as she likes to call it, on all the things that happened during my cruise, and it was a blast. Oh, Brenda Foley says, Becca, did you see that it was my guild members that was helping Rebecca P do, and they met, oh, I did not, but well done, Brenda. Well done. Jamie said, did anyone from the retreat get the prize of the wrist pin cushions I made and gifted them? Okay, you guys are talking now. Anyway, if you don't get a chance to do the !Ying in the chat, guess what's going to happen? When I hit end on this live stream, you're going to be automatically redirected to that video. So all you have to do is just sit at your machine or in your chair and just keep working on your project, and the party is going to automatically route over to Donna's channel, and I'll see you guys all there. Thank you so much for hanging out with me, friends, and I'll see you next Friday night, or, you know, in like 5 minutes on Donna's channel. Bye.